Alright, today we're going to continue roasting every single FGO servant in one sentence. Today, we're going to do the casters. Let's go. For someone with the desire to be a housewife, it's sad to say that I would sooner trust my son with Musashi or Giles. I lied, I wouldn't trust you with internet access, you're such a mess. You live as a walking deadline joke, which is amazing given that all your stories end the exact same way. You will only be relevant once they release your pretender form, and if you're lucky, they'll slap an animation update with it, you ball-throwing bastard. You only exist to serve as a red herring for Zoken in London. Everyone is disappointed that you're not an actual real demon. Being the most interesting and only usable member of the Marie Sim Club is not a proud achievement. Everyone seems to forget that at one point your kit was so atrocious that they had to rebuild you from the ground up, which is something they haven't even done for Giles or Geronimo. The Skahawk Rare Prism Trial Quest shit talks you so hard for essentially being a druid, weeb, and a nerd. In an archetype of characters known to be mediocre to bad, you take the cake for being the worst on the list in all categories of design, gameplay, and NP animation. You're outplayed in the meta by a saber face, outplayed in popularity by your swimsuit version, and outplayed in screen time by your crack-addled chef self. Not even the creeps like this version of you over the standard one. You are potentially the most powerful character in the Fate canon, but your primary utilization is as a default child and rarely anything more. Imagine being just as overworked as Waver but having nowhere near the amount of respect. You with the smaller enemy version of yourself speaks enough. The second worst thing about you is that they gave you the body of a little girl for marketing reasons, with the worst thing being that the world's most famous occultist got relegated to an alien joke. In a sense, I love you for being living proof that Fate is willing to insult every culture to a degree, and that is something to admire. As good of a single-target buster servant as you are, your legacy will still be having one of the game's most tedious events, or all the horse dojins. You would suck Ozymandias' toes if he asked you to. You exist as a poorly written plot device to get the main character out of every situation. I see more talk about the crab on your head other than you in a swimsuit, and honestly that's insulting enough. The most interesting thing about you and your associated series is having the best version of Shiro, which is an achievement akin to having the most knuckle hair. Being the most tolerable form of a terrible character is hardly an achievement, and if we had it my way, you would have stayed in Kerr. With each passing event, your relevance in the buster meta falls. There is stereotyping, and then there's whatever the fuck they did to you. How did removing clothes make you less attractive? The bird up meme gave you more characterization than both Salem and your event did. For being a figure known for her vast amount of wisdom, it's fascinating that you didn't foresee the fact that you could have done something to help out your husband. People tend to forget or willingly ignore that you are in fact a 17-year-old, which you would think would be hard to ignore given the fact that you are infantilized more by still playing with dolls. There are one-type personalities and then there's whatever the hell they did with you. Actually, Avasprawn has berserk levels of characterization when he's compared to you. They would rather release you again than make you relevant. You are regarded as one of the most frightening yokai in all of Japan, only to be regulated to being a non-talked-about niche caster, which is amazing given that you are one of the 5 single-target casters in the game. You know why you were really made and it disgusts me. People only like you, or hate you for that matter, because you share an artist with Raiko. No amount of gut stacking is going to save you from the malpractice lawsuit that's incoming. In terms of in-game lore, you must be one of the most insufferable people to be around, because all that you talk about is how willing and ready you are to kill your colleagues, which is a huge bastardization of your real-life counterpart. If the devs took half the time to implement your 100+ expressions into the game and funneled into characters who are struggling, the game would be a much better place as a whole, but I suppose catering to the old fetish fits Fate's style more. You share the same taste as Musashi, with none of the characterization, and rely on being a quote-unquote relatable idle nerd gamer for affection. It's astonishing that your claim to the mystic arts is through stage chicanery, Fate's loosening rules, a bikini, and a top hat. You are the greatest example of proof that the community doesn't care about history and Fate unless you're a child or a MILF. Not a soul in my Discord or the comments section had anything to say about you, which is fitting because you are a rare Fate occurrence of a loli wearing clothes. You are a -2 joke. After years of begging, the community was given a budget quick caster, only for him to immediately vanish into the free-to-play gacha where he would be forgotten. Honestly, I feel like I could roast the entire caster class as a whole. This is the class that you assign a character if they're obnoxious or bland because you know that you can force people to use them for meta purposes, and that's it. Alright, but that's going to be it for the casters. We're going to be moving on to the assassins next time. Thank you all for submitting your suggestions. If you want to submit yours for the assassins, do so down below. Do all the YouTube stuff, go check out the Discord, the Twitter, the Twitch. I'm still considering doing streams over on this end of things. We're going to see how things pan out with that. But for now, guys, keep your chin up. Peace.